It was Thanksgiving Day. The house was filled with warmth, light, and a soft sense of comfort that wrapped itself around every corner. On the dining table lay the turkey, mashed potatoes, and all the traditional dishes that made this day special each year. No matter how much distance the year created between us, today was the day everyone tried to sit together and smile. I sat quietly on my chair. A cup of tea rested in my hands, but my eyes were fixed on the table, or maybe on the dreams that lay scattered across it. Dreams that might never come true. Just then, Mom walked toward me with a bright smile. There was a spark in her eyes, the kind that appears only when she is about to tease or ask a personal question. She laughed gently and said, "Sister's wedding was amazing. Everyone had so much fun. So tell me, when is yours?" For most people, it would have been a simple question. But for me, it was an arrow sharp and direct, hitting a wound I had buried deep. In a flash, memories I had locked away came rushing back. Her laughter, her voice, her final goodbye, everything. I took a slow breath and said softly, "Mom, I already had mine." The table fell silent. Everyone froze. Mom first assumed I was joking, but when she looked closely at my face, her smile faded, replaced by confusion and concern. She hesitated. "What do you mean? You never told us anything." My sister also stared in shock. "What? When? With who?" I swallowed hard and answered, "I had mine, but the difference is that now it exists only in memories. The marriage is gone, only the pain remains." My heart tightened. I knew I couldn't hide it anymore. Flashback my story 2 years ago. I met Aisha. She seemed like someone who had walked straight out of a quiet dream, simple, innocent, and so soft-spoken that even her silence felt like poetry. We met in a small tea cafe. That moment is still carved into my heart like a perfect photograph. Our friendship slowly blossomed into love. I still remember the evening when we sat together at the beach, listening to nothing but the sound of waves and the wind. Her eyes had a calmness that people spend their whole lives trying to find. That night, I knew if there was anyone who could complete my life, it was Aisha. Our marriage was simple and private. Maybe that's why I never told anyone. We had planned to announce it formally once things in our lives stabilized. But life never follows the script. 4 months into our marriage, Aisha began falling sick. First a light fever, then constant fatigue, then breathlessness. I took her to the doctor. Tests, reports, hospital rooms. Those few weeks felt like the longest, heaviest weeks of my life. Then the diagnosis came. Aisha had a rare autoimmune disease, and it was spreading fast. When the doctor said, "Pray, we're trying our best," I felt the floor collapse beneath me. Aisha tried to smile through everything, but I could see the fear in her eyes, the fear of losing days, losing moments, losing life. I wanted to break down beside her, cry for the unfairness of it all, but I stayed strong because she needed strength, not tears. One night, holding my hand, she whispered, "If I go, don't ever think of me as a burden." That night, something inside me shattered forever. A few days later, Aisha looked into my eyes one last time, and took her final breath. And with her, my marriage ended too. Back to the Thanksgiving table I sat quietly, but inside my chest, my heart was pounding. Then I saw Mom's eyes fill with tears. She held my hand gently. "You carried such a heavy sorrow alone. Why didn't you tell us?" I exhaled deeply, because I didn't want to place my grief on anyone else. Aisha was a part of me, and her pain became mine alone to carry. My sister wiped her tears. "You were never alone. You just never gave us the chance to stand with you." It was the first time I spoke Aisha's name aloud, the first time I shared the wound I had hidden so carefully. Mom pulled me into her arms and whispered, "It doesn't matter when your wedding was or who it was with. What matters is that you're here, you're alive, you're ours. And remember, people like Aisha never really leave. They settle into your soul." And in that moment, I realized Thanksgiving wasn't just a family dinner. It was a turning point, a quiet, healing moment. The marriage that ended was gone, but the love, her love, still lived inside me. And maybe that was okay.